Excuse me. Hello, everybody. Lisa had to run back in the house for a minute, so and I'm just getting everything set up, so I'll be ready, and we'll be ready in just a minute. Oh, I got a tickle. Let's see here. I need to get my camera software open, which takes forever. Here it is. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Jeff, are you still in here? These ones that are from the punch where it says on the back, you are cleverly disguised as a responsible adult. Did you notice that? Well, I can't come in there right now, so never mind. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. I'm just waiting for everybody to get here. Lisa had to run it. Hi, Artsy. That's, excuse me. Hello. Yep. Hello. Lisa had to run in the house, so she'll be out in just a minute. Well, playtime with Lisa is always fun. So, and it's always artsy too. I have to show you. Hubby brought me in some presents today. He said they were collecting, so I've got little pieces of paper that he knows I love. But I really like this one on the back. It says, "Hi, Mandy." It says, "You are cleverly disguised as a responsible adult." Lisa will be right back. She wanted some pencils. She's going to work on some of her bevel paper today. So, yeah, last Thursday was a bad day. And Sunday I still felt a little, not necessarily myself, but yeah, I'm better. My shoulder is giving me what for, but not probably going to happen until I can see about having surgery on it from the looks of it. Apparently I'm going to have rotator cuff surgery, so not what I really wanted to do with my time this winter, but I guess that's what's going to happen. So there she is.
Here I am.
Mm-hmm.
My brain is not working. I was trying to find the artsy nurse's name. I can't remember.
She told us to call her Artsy.
Okay, yay. Well, that's easy. Hi,
Mm-hmm.
Artsy. I'm glad you're here.
Mandy's here
Hi,
too.
Mandy.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, I couldn't find Hannah's ink tints pencils or her Graphitints pencils. I'm sure they're in the same place
Probably.
somewhere, but I couldn't find them. I guess I just need to buy my own. She doesn't mind me borrowing them, but the issue is finding them when I need them. So
Yeah, and you don't know her places. Uh-huh.
no, I don't.
Barbara's gonna be
Hi,
late.
Barbara.
Okay. So, but
Well, I'm gonna do a little trial with some different things before I start working on the real ones.
on the real ones, I love what you've done so far with that
Well,
left that one. Yeah.
this is done with these Rembrandt pastels, soft pastels,
Mm.
but it's not easy to do. And I was thinking she has some pastel pencils too, and that's what I was going to borrow those too, and I can't find them either. So,
Okay. Hi,
um,
Gail. Hi, Karen.
but I think pastel pencils would work really nicely because that I like that look.
Yeah.
Um, but I thought I might try these charcoal pencils,
Yeah.
see if those will work.
The big thing will be keeping your hand off it.
Yes, that will be the big thing, and that's a really big thing when it comes to these. Um, anyway, I'm just going to work right over here where maybe I won't have to.
I think I said hello to everybody. I hope so. Oh,
Hi,
let's
Karen
see.
Sue. Hi, Gail.
What do I want to do next? Let me think about it. Hmm.
Well, Ethan got a gate, puppy gate, made for the kitchen.
Oh.
So, very grateful for that. That way I can get away from him real quick while he still remembers why I'm walking away.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Mm,
Yep.
because this bitiness it's got to be vanquished somehow.
Yeah. Um, because he's, I mean, you've been working with him long enough. He should be getting better with that. But it's
Yeah,
the
well,
type
he's
of
still
dog too.
teething though.
I was gonna say, isn't it the type of dog he is?
Yes,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
that's a lot of it. Yeah. Um,
Jeff's brother had one that always wanted to nip at your ankles. Now
yeah,
she never actually took hold of your ankle, but you were always afraid that she would.
yeah, yeah.
That looks good.
Let's try. Let's
Did
see.
you see Gail's question?
Oh no, I didn't.
What type
What
of
type of
dog? And
dog?
yeah.
He is 5 months old. On the 10th of October, he was 5 months old. He's half Australian cattle dog and half pit bull. And he thinks that the way to tell me things is just to bite at me till I figure out what he wants. Um, anyway, some days he does better than other days, and that's one reason I think that some of it has to do with that he's still teething, and some of it has to do that because of the kind of gate we had in the kitchen, Hannah can just step over it,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
I can't do that. I'm not as limber as she is, and so it takes me longer to get away from him, and it hurts me to step over it, and so I would try other tactics first
Yeah.
rather than just getting away. And and I think really getting away is the better plan. Um, but anyway, we went yesterday on a walk, and about halfway through the walk, so I was like, quite a ways away from the car. um, he starts doing the jumping and biting thing,
Mm.
and and he was, completely out of control. And I tried to get him to sit and lay down so I could give him a treat so he could think about something different. And that didn't work. And I was like, well, when Hannah's far away like that, and this things like this happen, she just calls me and I drive over there, and the fact that he sees the car makes him change his thought process, you
Yeah.
know. Um, and but I didn't have that option because there was no one for me to call. And so I just put him on about a 6-inch leash. I mean, I just, cinched it up like that and walked as fast as I could, which with this gimpy um, groin muscle I'm still trying to get fixed is not very fast, but it was way faster than we had been walking. And he was like, oh my goodness, I guess she means business. And
Yeah.
after a few minutes of that, I could tell he had calmed down. So I gave him more leash and he did fine the rest of the way. But
But it's still
yes,
it's
it's the
still hard.
Australian cattle dog. I agree. And he's not biting with the intention of hurting me.
No, it's
He
just to
just,
get your attention.
yeah. And what he wants is for me to play with him. But in a position like that, in that position, he either wanted to drink or he wanted me to play with him because he was outside. So if he needed to poo, he could just do that. And
Hmm.
that's once in a while in the house. He gets me for that reason because he needs to go outside, and he knows how to tell you when he needs to go outside if it's the other one. But when it's the poo, he doesn't somehow equate going to the door for that. And so so he bites me. But um anyway, it's going to get better. I know it will. It's just kind of a struggle. But today, this morning, he was biting at me in the kitchen. Whenever I sit down, he bites at me because I can't just jump up and get away from him like Hannah can. He quit doing that to her,
Hmm.
but he still does it to me. So this morning I had that gate because Ethan got it finished about midnight last night. And I just got up and went straight out that gate and shut it. And he was like, what's that?
Mm.
And and I waited a minute and I came back in and sat down and he started again and I said no and I got up and I went out again. Anyway, on our walk today, he did great. He didn't even really pull on the leash very much, which when he wants to smell something or he sees a dog, well, he did see a squirrel. And oh my
Well,
goodness,
I don't think you'll ever trade that away.
no, he was going after that squirrel. And but um anyway, but he is still very young and he's still teething, so um um I'm giving him some grace, but it is frustrating.
Well, oh, oh, oh. Yeah, just oh, that's not what I thought I had. What is that?
It's just I end up
Okay.
looking like this
Yeah,
because I
she's
have
got
delicate
owies.
skin and he's not, like I said, he's not trying to hurt me. If he wanted to hurt me, he could hurt me, but he's not trying to do that. So, um, he's just,
Mindy asked you a question.
oh, I'm sorry.
That's
Does
all
the
right. It
Not
just
at
popped up.
all. Mindy, I tried that. We tried it. I tried it to keep him from biting on Darren's chair because um, the kids, that's the thing in the house. If he was going to ruin something that would hurt them the most, it would be ruining Darren's chair. And so I tried that, and he just looked at me. I mean, he couldn't even see me because I was hidden, like they said to do it. And he just looked over and went right back to it. And the second time I tried it a little while later, he didn't even look up. But he's not afraid of loud sounds. He's not afraid of thunder. He,
Hi,
And I
Lisa.
think that's part of why it didn't work for him, because he just doesn't care about loud
Doesn't care.
sounds. Now he might startle a little bit, but he doesn't get afraid.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like the look of this, and I don't think y'all can see, but I put some highlights
I
in
Yeah, that looks
a,
good.
a little bit. Hi Gail. I mean Lisa. I know Gail's here. Hi Lisa. Oh, sorry. I've
That's all right.
It's been a tough couple of days. This morning I was crying so much I was afraid that maybe I shouldn't even come on, but I need y'all. I need to come on. Oh, for the same reason I need to cry. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
anyway, it's just I don't know why the last couple of days have been so hard. Missing Darren so much. I mean, I know part of it is that Tuesday night when we were at the park, this guy just backed out of the driveway right into my car.
Oh, honey.
And that car is the last thing that Darren bought for me before he
Yeah.
passed away, and so it's very, I want it to last as long as possible. um and so that was has been a traumatic. And then I've got my phone in here because the guy who was driving was not the guy who owned the vehicle,
Oh, that's even worse.
and the guy who owned the vehicle didn't have his insurance on him. And um and I thought, well, this is a little bitty thing. It's not, my car is not damaged beyond drivability or anything. And if
Mm-hmm.
I had to, I could drive it like this the rest of its life. I don't want to, but I could. Um, but he tried to show me on his phone. His wife took a picture of the policy, but she didn't take a very good picture, so I couldn't read the numbers. And I was like,
Mm.
that's not good enough. I need to see the insurance. I
Yeah.
need to know you have insurance, because I've been hit by people who said they had insurance and they didn't. One guy, before even gave me his insurance policy and everything, and the card said he had insurance, but he had canceled it like 2 days after he got the card.
Oh my.
So he had the card to show people,
Uh-huh.
but he didn't really have insurance. Um, anyway, this guy, he gave me his ID, his state ID, which is not a driver's license. So the guy who owns the vehicle can't drive, but he was using it for work, and this other guy was driving it.
No.
Anyway, I was trying to be nice, and I said, okay. He said, if you'll just take my ID, I'll bring the insurance and trade it tomorrow. So I went back to the park last night, and he wasn't there. And the house that he was working on, I went up and knocked on the door asking for him because he never came out. And I kept thinking, I didn't see his truck. And I kept thinking,
Mm-hmm.
surely he'll come looking for me. If somebody had my ID, I would be looking for him. Um, anyway, the guy who lived there was also his boss. And he said he sent him off on another job in the early afternoon, so he wasn't working in that spot. But he would give him my phone number and have him, he would call me today.
Mm-hmm.
But he hasn't called so far. Anyway, I told him if I don't hear from him today, I'm going to just take all the information I have and go to the police.
That's right. That's right.
So,
So,
anyway, hi, Violet.
hi, Violet.
Oh, thank you, Violet. You're sweet. Well, it's just, I don't know why I was foolish enough to think that it would be hurting a little less now. Um, but it doesn't. uh, if anything, some days it's worse. And I guess it's because, everything I'm doing, I don't have him to help me, hold me up, and all of that he was so good at doing. So, anyway, I'll get off that subject because that's a downer.
Unless you need to talk about it.
Well, I don't know that there's anything else to say. It's just hard.
All right. Yeah, and it's going to take a long time before it gets any easier, and it's never going to go away.
Yeah. Well, I knew it would never go away, but I thought it would be a little bit easier by now. I'm really shocked at how hard it hits me still. I still have days where I wake up and I still can't believe that it's actually even real, that he's gone. It just doesn't seem like it could possibly be real. This is not how it's supposed to be, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I didn't realize, I guess, how completely true it was that he was half of who I am. And um, I just feel empty in places. It doesn't help that I'm having to deal with things that are I'm not good at, like getting a new computer and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, at least I did manage to get some things moved off my old computer before it completely gave up on me.
Oh, did it completely give up?
Yeah, it won't even turn on.
Ugh.
You can't really see that.
No,
That's
I like the
obviously too
other
light.
better. Yeah, I like the other better.
One thing, um, well, they're not really that much. I thought these were a little greener than that one, but they're not. They're all about the same. This one has some more green on it from Hannah's tea, but um
I wish I had good words, Lisa, but I don't.
it's okay. Just being here is enough.
Okay.
Hi, Laura. Thank you for the blessing. I appreciate it very much.
Hello, Laura. We're
I'm
glad
glad
you're
you're
here.
here.
We're glad everybody's here. Are you going to try to stream on Thursdays, hon?
I'm planning to try to stream on
Okay.
Thursdays. Yes. Um, today I'm worried about it a little bit, but
Yeah.
um,
Well, okay. So you just say I'm hopefully going to, and if I am, I'm there. If I'm not, I'm not. That's just
there
the way
you
it
go.
works.
That's it. If
You
I
know?
can, I will, and if I can't, I won't be there. But
Yeah.
what I don't want is people fretting if I'm not there. So if I'm not
Well,
there,
that's
it
it.
doesn't mean something bad. It just
Yeah.
I just
Just
couldn't do
means
it that
that
day.
I'm busy. That she's busy. So, well, I am not going to stream Sunday because I I'm doing everything at about quarter speed. Um, every time I go to try, I just tried to wash dishes today, and by the time I got done, my shoulder hurt so bad. I was like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Uh, and then the dinglebat I saw 2 weeks ago, who I specifically told needed to call my MRI into where my doctors are, called it to some other company, and they didn't call
Oh,
me until 2 days ago.
good grief.
So I don't even have an MRI scheduled because he didn't handle it properly. So I'll deal with it tomorrow because I have to go back to see my regular doctor tomorrow. She'll take care of it, but it just irritates me when they're
I
so
do know.
incompetent.
People
So
should just do their job.
well, they just don't pay attention. Oh, he was like perturbed that I didn't want it to go to this other company, this outside source. It's like, why do I want my records all over town? You know.
Yeah.
So especially when my medical center has the ability to do exactly what they want. So, yeah, anyhow,
And they are your medical records after all.
that's right. Hmm. And and then I got there that day though, and they wanted me to have a second. Um, shoot, I just did that wrong. Um, a second X-ray, and I'm like, why? I just had an X-ray 2 weeks ago, less than 2 weeks ago. I'm like, I'm not paying for another one. So, anyways, I guess it was because I was grumpy.
Well, this shows up a little bit better.
Yes, it does now.
This is the other one I was using, and then
And
this one is kind of a
I like it a
brown.
little bit darker.
What I really want is something that's like a
Okay,
golden.
bye, bye, Gail. I'm sorry, Golden.
No, that's okay. Bye bye. A golden with green,
Ah,
and that's not easy to find. Probably not even available. Um, I don't know if this one's. No, that's not better.
unless you do both
Yeah, but these are not good enough pencils, I don't
to
think,
do
to
that.
stack.
Because
Yeah,
I have, now this one's silver, but I think I have a gold one.
I'll try doing some yellow and then some green
I'm
over it.
wondering where I even got these. Here. Maybe I don't have a gold. Yes, I do. I have a gold one. I don't know what it looks like, but that's what it looks like, Lisa. It's
Yeah,
not it's not shiny shiny gold, but it's it's I wonder if I got it at like Hobby Lobby in a gold and silver set or something.
yeah, maybe.
Cuz it's a KOHINOOR, and it's a woodless pencil. It's solid, and it's pretty
Hmm.
shiny. It's not shiny shiny. Hi, Sue.
I
Oh,
don't
it got hot
necessarily
here
want
again.
it shiny. I just want the combination of colors.
Yeah. Um, we had rain last night, first time in something like 30 some days. And of course, the rain makes it humid, and we actually had to turn the air conditioner back on
Oh my.
because it was very uncomfortable in here this morning. So,
Well, I just have the like a fan. At least I have my air conditioner just on fan only.
well,
But it's only 65 degrees here, so it's
yeah.
nice.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We would just love that. Um, I'm hoping for that when we get up north. The No, it was 80 by 9 o'clock.
Yeah, yuck.
Laura says those circles are popping off the page. Yeah, and it was raining. When I got up, it was still raining. It was raining a nice rain, but it was raining. That kind that's kind of like a sprinkler coming down.
Yeah.
That's what we need is like a couple of days of that. But Okay, that one's finally dead. I finally dug out all the glue out of that one. So, okay, now I'm going to have to get out some.
This is where I put the green on top of the yellow, and then this is kind of a gold.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
The thing that I like about this, though, is the shading.
The shading. Yep. Now I get to dig this one out.
And over here, I just used a brown watercolor pencil, and there I used black ink,
Yeah,
and then
that's too
kind of
much,
filled
I
in
think. Yeah, the
just to
filled in
play.
with the black is too dark, I think.
It is, yeah, I don't like it because I want some of this to look earthy, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what I really want is just to do the outline the stones and somehow get some dimension to them. And the pastel works really well for that. It's just you can't do small ones with it.
I was going to say because
It
they're too chunky.
yeah, yeah. That's why I want Hannah's pencils, her pastel pencils.
I'll bet you Hannah would answer her phone if Mama called her.
Oh, that's true, but would she know where they are?
Probably.
Maybe.
I know.
I'll need
I'm
to call
pretty.
her and
I don't
see.
know
I'll be
Hannah.
right back.
I don't know Hannah real well, but I bet you she knows exactly where they're at. And Sue's heating it. Sue's having to heat. Okay. So this is my new um mark making diary journal, whatever. And this is a page I'm working on today. And what I'm going to do now is put white marks in there. Don't know what yet, but white marks. So we definitely have to have dots because I've got dots on here. This is stitching dots, so maybe we'll just make more dots inside of there for starters. What we were discussing when we leave, we'll probably leave the air conditioner on because it won't get cold enough, I don't think, before we get back that we will need the heater. But if we'll leave it on and turn it way up like we usually do, just so it doesn't get damp and musty in the house. And then if we need heat, Jeff's brother will come over and turn it on, I'm sure.
Okay. Well, she's told me where to look, so I'm going to go look. I'll be right back.
Okay. See, I told you. I don't know why she didn't think about that. Where can I find a book like I'm using? This book, Sue? I made this book. This book is just a junk journal. Um, it is, I cut, it was a composition book. Okay. It was a comp book that I took all the pages out of and I cut it in half. And then I put all kinds of fun, scrappy papers in here, including, just a minute, I'll make you bigger. Just give me a second. I'll make me bigger so you can see the whole thing. So this was scrap papers out of my scrap bin, and if they weren't big enough to make it kind of in a page, I just took another piece and attached it. Some of the pages are little. This is just jelly prints. This is, pattern paper. Uh, but see, if it wasn't long enough to make a whole page, I just attached. And this is just, like I said, out of my scrap bin. I took no new pieces of paper. That's that, and this is wrapping paper. And I just tied it, pamphlet stitched it into the center, and I covered the outside of the comp book with my jelly prints, and then I doodled on it. Well, and so this is, I honestly took all of this out of my scrap bin. I had there was this piece of cardboard was in my scrap bin. I cut it in half to make this journal, and then I did that. So, and then now what I'm doing now is creating mark collage papers, marked. All the collages are like my own little marquee papers, the things I just doodle on. And there's a couple of videos. I'll go fetch them when Lisa comes back. I'll go fetch them and tell you which videos it is, because I made this little book to hold my scrap papers so that I can draw on them whenever. And then this book is the one where the pages are going into. So now then, let me see. Laura asked the question. And Laura, are you talking about this paper of Lisa's? Hi, Sharon. Hi, Lisa. But Laura, if you're talking about Lisa's paper, what that is Monday night, last Monday night, she did coffee bubble paper, and I don't know whether it's what kind of paper it actually is. We'll have to ask her when she comes up. The black paper where I'm about to put the white marks. Okay. That is actually, let's see, I have a piece of that in one of my other books. I have a huge, gigantic book. I mean, it's a huge book. It's an old book. And it has these really weird pictures in it that it's like a natural history book or something like that. Just a minute. I'll show you a bigger picture. Okay. So it has, it's very glossy pages. They're real thick. And those are just black backgrounds from those pictures. See here, this one must be a storm on that page. So they were just pictures out of a book. And I think I said hello to Sharon.
Hi, Sharon. Hi, Sue. Hi, Lisa.
But yeah, let me see. I might even have that book. Yes, I do. I have it right here. This book that I use, I kind of keep it close because I sometimes, oh, here's some more pictures from it. This picture I'm kind of holding on to. I haven't figured out exactly why I'm holding on to it, but I like that picture. But see how big this, I mean, you can't even see because it's too close. See how big my hand. So this is a huge, huge book. Where's my picture? There we go. An old book or magazine, Sue, maps. I use all sorts of things for that kind of stuff.
For what kind of stuff are y'all talking about specifically?
Pages for, whatever pages for.
Oh, for journals?
She asked me where I got my book that I'm using. And I told her I made it. And I actually made this one in probably a Sunday live stream, just using up scraps. It was a way to use up scraps. So, and I
And
use a
if you
lot of
don't
book
have
paper.
scraps, make scraps. Just
I
paint a piece of paper and tear it into pieces and make it into
right.
scraps.
And like this piece of painting paper, this is okay. This had something printed on it, probably from where my mom had printed out embroidery from the looks of that. Let me see. Is there another piece of that anywhere? No. Um, she used to have to print out all of her embroidery designs to understand them. I still don't understand why they had to do that, but my dad used to print them all out for her. Anyways, there was books and books and books of that stuff when I brought her stuff from her house, and it's perfectly good paper. So I've been jelly printing on it. Well, this is just where I rolled off my brayer. So, just a scribbly. So you found them right away, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, I didn't find these the graphite pencils right away because I misunderstood where she told me they were, but I
Ah,
did find them. The
okay.
pastel pencils I did find right away.
Anyways, books, magazines, new maps. I use a lot of maps in my and I save maps when we go on trips because the next time I go to that state, I probably will need a new map. So we get them when we enter the state, we use them, and um, then I have them in my art supply stash. So I collect a lot of recycled paper stuff. I use a lot of junk mail. Haven't been using as much junk mail lately because I have so much stuff. It's about having too much stuff. And I know you wouldn't think that a person could have too much stuff, but I have way too much stuff.
I do too. And yet, new stuff is
I
always so
want more.
tempting.
There's two sets of stamps with dies that I really, really want bad. I keep avoiding them, but I don't know how much longer I'll be able to avoid them because, I really want them. And there's just no reason for that. There just really isn't. Yeah, so that kind of thing, that's I just reuse that paper and paint jelly prints on it, stuff like that. Um I'm I like to not I like to use things that have a second life so that they have a second life.
Oh, that in your hall, was it yesterday? That those electrical or whatever they are books were awesome.
I'll go get them where we can show them off. The one with the the red leather to wrap around it is just to die for. Yeah, last I didn't need a single book, especially after just having gone to the library book show. Um, that's the last thing I needed was to get another book. But these three, I couldn't help myself. It was bad. It was very, very bad. Um, but this one, it was like, oh,
Yeah. You see something like that and you think, I can't believe it's even still here.
right, right. Well, there was a man that had a book, a big book, in a plastic bag, and I didn't see where he came from because we were at a neighborhood wide garage sale.
Yeah.
So there was like four garage sales in this cul-de-sac, and he had this big book that looked really old in a plastic bag, and it probably came from this place. But uh, I didn't pay a lot for these because I had just gotten all those books. But isn't this the most beautiful thing? Now I will use these pages out of here, but it is my intention to take and make an actual journal out of this because I think it's just the leather on it is just gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's so yummy. It is so yummy. I will have to decide how I'm gonna put the pages in, that kind of thing. But the drawings in it too are just phenomenal. But then this was the same place, um, and she had this one, which I really this is thin paper too. This is going to be really yummy collage paper. And honestly, the leather on this cover is really pretty too. So it would make a cute little book. But then this was at a different, right there on the same cul-de-sac, but a different one. And I did pay more for this one than the other two. But um, the illustrations in this one are just they were just so pretty. I was like, oh yeah. Even though I wanted the covers, I want the covers to make a bird book. But anyhow, that was last night. I've been bad lately. I still have two piles of books behind me. I haven't been able to put away from the library sales. It's like, oh no, oh
And I
no, no,
understand.
no.
I have stacks and bags of books everywhere too, because that's the
Hmm.
hardest thing for me to resist.
Oh yeah. That's pretty.
Oh, I gotta go for just a minute. Be right
Uh
back.
huh. Hopefully, it's a guy about her car. Okay, so trying to draw on that's not working because uh, there's stuff underneath and it's wanting to tear through that paper. So I need some kind of cardboard. Okay, cardboard. This will do.
Okay. It was not the guy. It was my sister, but I wanted to make sure she didn't need something, and
Yeah.
she didn't. She just was driving and thought we would chat. But she said, "Go, go, go, stream."
Go,
So
go, go stream. Uh-huh.
she said, "I don't know anything good."
Uh-huh. I don't know anything good. Yeah, right. Uh-huh. Okay. That one is not wanting to draw on this. That's interesting. We may have to change our tactics here. Is she still enjoying being East?
My sister,
Yeah.
yeah, she likes where, that area of the country, all the trees and everything.
Well, I like all the trees, but isn't she in Boston?
Oh no, not anymore. No, Boston. They were glad to be there a little while to have the cultural opportunities, but no,
Okay,
they're
but they're
actually in Virginia, about just like 4 miles from Williamsburg.
oh well then yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and they do like it there.
Um yeah, that we like West Virginia a lot. Um uh so the these don't always write on everything. The Posca pens pretty much write on everything. So when all else fails, grab the Posca pen. That's I'm not really liking what this looks like, but that's all right. I'm not gonna freak out.
Well, see if it
That
comes up in your
happens.
brain again, you'll know. Oh yeah, I didn't really
I,
like that.
I didn't really like that. Yeah, that's it. Uh-huh. I don't like that one. That was the whole point of this is that it will give me ideas of what I do like and what I don't like, and I just made it worse. So, yeah. Um Now, so these come in all kinds of sizes. Posca pens are the only local store I know to buy them in is Joann's. I don't know that anybody else carries them, but I'm not going to guarantee that because I haven't looked for them in a long time. Um, they come in colors. Lisa, do you have Poscas in colors?
I think I have a few. Let me see.
I don't.
I
I
don't
don't
use them,
use.
but I have
Yeah,
some.
I don't use the colors. I only use black and white. So I haven't even ordered colors because I just know that I probably wouldn't use them.
I
Um,
got the
so,
colored ones before I knew that what I was doing. You know.
well, and that's why I'm trying to say something about it because you know they will, however, write over top of Mod Podge, which not everything will. See, Lisa's got
Oh,
them in
this
colors.
is not
They
one, but
they also come in different tip sizes,
yeah,
and
these are all fine tip.
I even have a great big giant one, which is
But
really fun to use. Maybe we'll use that today. Um, they uh, they will, like I said, they will. You don't have to have gesso to make them work. They will write on just darn near everything. So just a FYI. Um, hmm. We're gonna use this great big one if it works. Yeah, you could order these from Jerry's. I have in the past ordered them from Amazon. Um, I think JetPens carries them too. There's a lot of places that have them. Let's do this.
well, I think I like the pastel pencils the best.
Okay.
I mean, I really like the thickness of these on some of them, So I may
Uh-huh.
on the bigger ones use the regular pastels and on the smaller ones use the pencils. But I don't have a pencil that actually matches that big
The
pastel.
uh-huh. Well, it might be one of those things where you have to use a little of both in some areas
Yeah.
to make
Well, and
them kind
not
of.
all rocks are the same color anyway, so
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's right.
anyway, so here's my practice sheet.
Let's make you big.
Now this area right in here I haven't done anything, and I haven't done anything there or here. These big open areas.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I can see where I could do some in there, but I just haven't. Because like I said, this one was just trying to figure out what pencils to use.
To use, yeah.
But I think these two are my favorites.
I think so. That's my favorite.
So I think I'm going to go in with the pastels and do the biggest rocks and then do different colors of these smaller pastel ones around them.
In the smaller ones, yeah.
Yeah.
And which sheet are you going to work on first?
Oh, I don't know. Um, I think I like this one because it looks like it has more riverbed over here.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Of course, this one has two nice areas here and looks like some algae. So,
Well, are you
uh,
going to use it whole?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay.
My idea was just to make it. I hadn't thought
Aha.
about how I'm
Okay.
going to use it. Now, this one I'll probably, tear up and use in collage or something,
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
and I may do two if I really enjoy this and do one of them in collage and use one of them like as a page in a journal or
As a
something.
page or something. Mm-hmm.
But
Well, she could put fall leaves into the water too.
that's true. That would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Great idea, Sue.
Sue says she's winging it. Yeah. Uh-huh.
I don't know. I like them both. I did a whole bunch of them, and these were the two I liked the best. And so I think I'm going to go with this one, even though it's bigger. I was thinking it'd probably be better to start with the smaller one, but I think I'm going to go ahead and go with the big one.
Well, there you go. See, now the whole thing is that if it doesn't come out exactly like you want, then you just go back and you start over again and do something else.
That's
Right?
right. Do something
Well,
else.
you just do something else.
Mm.
It's just like for some reason these white pens are not really white today. Don't ask me, I don't know.
They're anemic.
Yeah, they're kind of anemic. I'll have to go over top of them. Hmm.
Well, maybe they just soak into that paper more.
It's hard telling. That's one reason why I really like these because they don't soak into paper. But it all depends on what paper you got, whether or not they're going to write. And that one, it just didn't want to. And this particular section of picture must either have been a different book or because who knows what I grabbed. They were in my scrap bin, so
Yeah.
I just made it out of the scrap bin. And the reason I had the cover from the composition book was because I had taken the composition book apart to coffee dye a whole composition books full of paper. And I think this was the composition book where all of the lines bled.
Excuse me.
They need a transfusion. That is true, Sue. Uh-huh. They do kind of need the transfusion. Oh, I promised to go get a couple of links, but I forgot. Does anybody really want them? It
Links
was
for
a
what?
link, well, for make this mark making journal thing
Oh,
that I'm doing. Project.
huh.
It wasn't how I was going to make it. I mean, it wasn't how I made the journal. It was about what I'm using it for.
Right.
So I'll just wait a minute, see if anybody really wants it. Because if they do, I'll go get it. You were gone off, so I didn't go get it right that second when I said I would get it, and then I forgot. Because, I don't have any brain cells left. Yesterday,
Decided to try
what'd you
all
say?
these different colors and see which one I want to use.
Oh, uh-huh. Yesterday, I had to take mom to her eye appointment, and then I had to go to the dermatologist because, when I was in about my shoulder, Debbie saw a skinny thing on my arm, and she's like, "You gotta go, you gotta go." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll go. No big deal. I'm pretty sure it's fine because I think I've had it looked at before." Anyways, but then the day before that, I had to go to the dentist. Tomorrow, I got to go see about my shoulder again. I have been to the doctor so many times this week, I don't want to think about it.
I don't blame you.
So, but I got an A+ from the dermatologist.
Well, that's good.
She said, "You must have stayed out of the sun your whole life." I said, "No." I said, "I just been lucky." Of course, I'm not really a sun person, so.
Okay. That's. I need to clean my fingers
Uh-uh.
before I start
They
trying
got
to.
they got very quiet. I hope they're all still there.
I know. That's what I was thinking. Everybody taking a nap?
Probably. Okay, we're gonna see if we can breathe some life into this. There we go. Yeah.
Ethan's been helping my stepfather with a project, cleaning out the apartment and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
he texted him today to see what time, and he said, text back after 2 o'clock and let this old man take a nap.
Oh dear. Uh-huh.
So when I went back in there, it was 2:06, and he was like, "Should I wait a little longer?" I said, "I'll wait till 2:30." So anyway, it was funny. I don't think I want to use this, but let's try it and see.
Yeah, that's a little better. They're a little less anemic. It might be time to get out a new one. You will soon have my name on one of the rooms of doctors. There you go. Yeah, the problem is it's been all over town. It's like they're not all in the same place. Um, that's been the problem. And Artsy was braiding her hair. That's all right, darling. I wanted to be sure that we hadn't dropped off. That sometimes happens, and especially lately, we're having a lot of trouble with even our cable for our TV keeps dropping, and that is irritating Jeffrey to no end.
I bet.
Okay, now we got to put some little black dots on there. So I need the little tiny black one. Where's the little tiny black one?
Oh,
That's
well, I'm
not
glad I
it.
did that because I thought a lot of these colors would be just fine, but now I see that they're not
They are,
really.
they're not.
That's
Uh-oh.
good.
Well,
I think
that's
there
not
are
the little.
probably three of them that will be fine, but if I
Okay, I know.
intersperse those three, I think that'll make it look more natural.
Okay, this is really weird. My little black one is there. It is. I thought it was gone. It's like, uh, how did I lose it? Have to wait. Okay, I'm gonna have to wait. So now I have to have some kind of let me see here. This is upside down. I need to make sure I do this right side up. I need a focal point. I need a focal point.
Okay. I'm going to start with the big
Or
rocks.
multiple focal points. I don't know. Let's see what we got over here. We have that one. That might not work. Oh, I have this one. That might be big enough. Let's see what happens. Come out of there. Okay. Come on. You know, it's really bad when you have your garbage can covered up too. So I can't even put things in my garbage can because I have books sitting on top of the garbage can. There we go.
I have I have that too, except I do have half of my garbage can open. It's rectangular shaped, and so
Hmm.
books are sitting on one half, and the other half is open.
Well, that was such a it's such a little garbage can that was there we go. Mm. Oh. Anyways, I've been doing when I do a page in here, I've been putting a focal point and words on each page. So um, that is that's kind of the plan I'm going with here. We'll see if I still like it in a minute.
Man, I was just coughing up a storm today.
Uh-oh. Is it dusty?
Not really. I don't know what the deal is. Hi, Janet. Glad you're here.
Hi, Janet.
Janet balances things on the wastebasket all the time. So
Oh, well, I'm forever setting something on top of it. And the other day when that ledger came, oh, by the way, your package says it won't be there till Monday.
okay,
So you guys will
that's
have to
fine.
see what my husband thought Lisa needed Monday night when she's on live. So
Suspense.
yes, I had to make it suspenseful. Okay, that is what I'm going to do with those. I'll kind of show you when in a minute what I plan, but first I want to get some um, more doodles on this, more marks. Hmm. Maybe I need one of these. Just maybe I need two of these over here. Just another little. Hmm. Oh yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Okay. I'll fix that all in a minute.
This is probably really boring to watch.
Well, I always think that they might be really bored to tears watching me doodle, but they don't seem to be. I don't know. They're quiet.
Yeah,
Doodling is relaxing to watch, she says. Okay, well,
I
I'm
agree.
glad.
I agree with that. I like to
It's
watch
re-
people doodle.
it's relaxing to me. It's kind of like coloring. I even like to watch Dee Dee color.
Oh, me too. I wish I
Okay,
could
so
have that kind of ability.
yeah. Well,
Of course, she's done it a million years. Well, no, not a million
yeah.
years. A long time, and I
Well,
don't care enough to to
yeah.
practice so much.
It's practice. It's a lot to practice. And she
That's what
doesn't
she
just color
says.
with she just doesn't color with one thing, too. It's kind of like what you're doing there. Uh she uses pastels
Yeah.
and she layers stuff up and it changes a color page completely. Oh, I used to do that with sleeves, Janet. What? All the doodling you did in junior high? I am not sure how much doodling I did in junior high. I can't remember. That was too long ago.
Yeah. I did a
I,
little bit on my book covers. That's all I remember.
um, you laugh, but my what do you call that card came yesterday? Medicare.
Oh, well,
It won't be any good until next year, but
yeah.
but I have to do all the filing and all that stuff for it. But it came yesterday, so so I am really old, really, really old. Okay, I know I have a big fat marker in here somewhere. Well, maybe this one will work. We'll see. I need this scrappy piece of paper. Hi, Joni.
Hi, Joni. Good to see you.
And hi, Janet.
We have 2 Janets and 2 Lisas.
Yeah. Actually, I think there's 3 Lisas if we count you.
Well, yeah, if you count me. I was just thinking in the chat, but
Oh, yeah.
I think we have maybe 3 Janets. No, maybe it's just 2.
I think it's just 2, but I won't make any guarantees because I haven't seen. Um, okay, never mind. I can't remember last names at the moment. It went away. It just went away,
Yeah.
like gone.
Well, Janet Nash and Janet Burgess are
Yeah,
both here.
right.
Okay. Somewhere.
Okay. So see what I did? I just went around it with black. And it's easier to do that when it's not glued down than after you glue it down because I don't want to get it all over my page. I just want it to be a little bit on the edge of each leaf. So
That looks really good. I'm gonna have to go see if I can find some Q-tips. I think instead of my finger, so I can do this a little
oh
bit more
yeah.
transparently.
Uh-huh.
So I will be back in just a moment. I can this way I can
Okay.
check on the puppy anyway. So
Okay. Yeah. That's gonna work. That's gonna work. I'm gonna be happy. Janet has been making bubble paper. It is so funny. She did that. One of the books that I picked up, I think at the book library book sale, had an article about or a section about making bubble paper, and I thought, oh, I want to do that. And then here Lisa goes, and so we have a lot. We must have the same brain cells some days. But my understanding was one of Janet was making bubble paper, I think, with that Lisa saw. I want to try it. I have some Dr. Martin's inks that are have like shimmer in them. I want to try it with those, but there's no way I can do that right now. I got to get myself together enough to leave next week. So that's going to take all my concentration. Lisa forgot to turn her sound back on.
sorry.
That's all right. But I just kind of knew you did when I looked up and you were there.
Yeah, I did. Totally forgot I had turned it off.
That's all right. At least you put your headset back on so you heard me.
Yeah. Well, that's why I set it down right in front of me.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yep, yep. Poor Jeff. Last night I told him I was going to make salads for dinner, and then I was so tired. I was like, I just can't make salads for dinner. Will you go to the grocery store and bring home chicken strips and curly fries?
There you go.
Because that's the dinner he cooks. You know, when he has to cook, we make chicken strips and curly fries. So we had chicken strips, but we didn't have curly fries because they didn't have any curly fries at this grocery store. So
That's a
we had,
shame.
well, he found some other French fries, and they actually were kind of better. Um, they were some kind of spicy French fry. This is working. That looks. Joni says that looks really cool. I think it looks gorgeous.
Thanks.
Yeah, the Q-tip really helps too.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And it allows me to build the curvature
Yeah.
of the stones,
Mhm. Yeah.
at least to the
Sounds like,
extent that I know how to do it. So
yeah. We used to have that more often, Janet, because I had a big freezer and I'd buy that stuff at Sam's, and then so I would have it on a night when I didn't feel like cooking. But I don't have a big freezer anymore, and I don't want a big freezer because, hurricanes uh, create a real issue if you have a giant freezer. So, I just don't want to have to leave a big freezer for someone else to deal with if we had a hurricane and we weren't here. So, all I have is a little freezer, so I don't have room to keep it. So, we only eat it whenever we go to the store and buy it. 3D bubbles. Yep, that's what they look like, is 3D bubbles.
this is kind of fun.
I'm really having fun with this little mark making book. I really am. I haven't done a lot with it yet, but I am enjoying it, and I really like being able to take something with all of these appointments with mom and myself to wait, to sit in the
Yeah.
waiting room. It just it's way better than just sitting there. It's great to have a treat. Yeah, it is good to have a treat once in a while. So it's kind of like pizza. Pizza's when I'm just too tired to cook anymore. Okay. Okay.
That reminds me, I've got to get a ham in the oven when I get off through streaming. Promised Hannah I
Okay.
would do that yesterday in the evening so it'd be ready when she got off work, and I totally forgot it. Dealing with a silly puppy.
Uh-huh. Um, she just wanted ham.
Well, I found a ham at the grocery store that the price looked pretty good, and it was kind of small. It wasn't a huge one.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And sometimes it's hard to find one that's not huge. So
Yeah.
I called and asked her if um, her she's started trying to eat the carnivore diet because she's heard it's good for anxiety.
Ah.
And I wanted to make sure that she pork was on her carnivore diet because some people only eat beef when they do that. And she said she's not limiting what kind of meat. She's only eating animal products at the moment. It's what it amounts to. So she's still
Ah.
got cheese and eggs and things in at the moment. She'll get rid of those if this isn't enough to help. But oh, I'm going to mute.
Okay.
Be right back. That was Ethan telling me he was going over to help my stepfather. So
Okay.
eventually they'll get this project done, and then Ethan can move into that little apartment. That'll be nice for him to have that kind of privacy.
Well, and it probably is cleaning up that needs to be done too.
It is. It's all stuff that Daryl has wanted done for a long time, most of
Mm-hmm.
it, and he just didn't want to ask anybody to do it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so this way he gets what he wants done, um, and Ethan gets something out of it too. So
Yeah. When we get back, Jeff's got to go over to his dad's and deal with the shed. I don't know if I told you that Jeff went over there one day to do some yard work and stuff and realized that the shed roof was just collapsing.
you did, and you told me he was working on it, trying to figure out what to do, and but I
Yeah,
hadn't heard
well,
anything lately.
they covered it with a tarp. He took a lot of stuff down. They covered it with a tarp. Basically, he's just going to empty the shed. But, if he can guarantee it's trashed, because there's so much junk in there that's, been in there for years.
Yeah,
So if he knows it's trash, it's going to go straight in the garbage can. Otherwise, he's kind of packing it up and bringing it home so that he can go through it like when he's finished with his project for the day and he has a little while, kind of
yeah,
like I've been trying to go through mom's stuff.
right.
um it's just too hard to do it all at once.
Lisa has a
So,
question for you.
oh, I've, I got the magnetic platform for a scissors K machine. Do you recommend the emboss and transfer set? Emboss and transfer set. I don't know that I have that. Give me a minute. Let me go look and see what that is. Okay. Let me glue that down and I'll go peek and
See
um
what you can find out. That might be something we need to know about.
yeah.
Oh no, I cannot be enabled anymore.
Well, I'm easily enabled, so
I
that's all
am
there is
too,
to
and
it.
it's got to stop.
Um Give me just a second. I'm headed over to Amazon to look at that and see what it is.
I don't have the time to use the things that I have, and
Well, and that's why I haven't ordered MBS and SFER.
this is fun. I'm having fun. Lisa says there's a video on the Amazon listing, just not sure it's something I need. Well, need is a very subjective word.
Okay, it's a silicone rubber impression pad for embossing, making things emboss better. Um,
I
and
haven't had
then,
any trouble embossing without it,
yeah, that's the thing. I will tell you, I have had no trouble embossing without it.
but
Um,
it depends on what I mean, we may not have the same machine she has. I don't know.
well, that's true, but it's a Sizzix, and she got the Sizzix, the magnetic. Uh, um, Lisa, I wouldn't order that until you you're having trouble with something else, because that is not something that I have, and I've never felt I needed it. That's what I'll tell you.
Yeah,
Um, I would spend that $13 to get some other, I don't know, a die or something,
yeah, or an embossing folder, or
or embossing folder, or some of those things. Now, I will tell you, um, and that's something you always need to think about. Is to just a minute. Let me go get.
Thank you, Barbara.
These are two new ones I just got. And just a minute, I lost my thing. I'm like, so why do I keep losing stuff? Um, these are 3D folders. Now these two both cut as well as, but I have some that are just 3D folders, and I haven't even needed something like that for these, for the 3D folders.
I haven't either.
Yeah. What I will tell you is that when you use one of these 3D folders, because I mean, there's a huge dent in this, right? I use my uh, really fancy Mr. Spray bottle and spray my cardstock and let it sit there on the table for a few minutes. I just spray a whole bunch of cardstocks very lightly, very tiny little bit of water. But these 3D folders work a little bit better if the cardstock is barely damp. It doesn't need to be wet, just barely damp. Um, you'll get a slightly nicer impression. But as long as you use, and this is another thing that I didn't even realize these were there. Um, it tells you which um, shim, based on which machine you're using. It tells you which shim to use, and that's important. Um, the worst I've ever had to do is add a piece of paper underneath or something to add something, and that was one of those cheap embossing folders, maybe that, not a Sizzix one, not a good one, because I've got a lot of cheap ones. The other thing is always watch Hobby Lobby for their sales, because their stuff goes on clearance, and when it does, it's really good price. Let me see. I tested my machine, and it definitely embosses. Mine was marketed for metal embossing for jewelry. Did not cut dies. Not well magnetic. Now it will with the magnetic platform. Okay, which machine have you got, Lisa? I missed where it says. Yeah, cheap Hobby Lobby ones, and what do you call it, like cheap Joann's ones, those kinds of things. They sometimes work better. You've got the vintage, and yeah, that's the thing. As long as you now with the magnetic one, you can emboss. Oh, you may have. There are some weird dyes that might not work as well, but if you use the Thinlits dyes, you'll be fine. Um, but that's for cutting. Do you know which ones I'm talking about, Lisa? The ones where they look like little metal plates? Those might be harder with your magnetic platform.
The
I have some cutting dies that look like little metal plates. Yeah, the vintage.
I'm not
The
sure
vintage.
what you say mean when you say that, and so
Okay, I'll go get one.
okay.
Yeah, you should be fine, Lisa, without that. I don't think you're going to need it. And if you find it's not doing what you want it to do, slide a piece of cardstock in there underneath things, and it should. Because I have had to do that once in a while.
My fingers are my fingers are going. Yeah. Mm. They're not as nimble as they used to be.
Yeah. My
If
whole
I keep
body's
them in
not
a
as nimble.
one position too long, they kind of stick there.
Yeah, and my whole body does that. Um, just a very few the yeah. Um, watch for these guys because these are really nice, Lisa. And um, sometimes schools get rid of these, and you'll find school teachers that will have them in their garage sales and at the thrift store and stuff like that. And these will cut chipboard. If you can see the design in there, see it's these are steel rule dies, and these will work with your machine. You don't use the magnetic plate. You just put a one of the plastic things over it. But once in a while, I have to depend upon if they're Sizzix or if there's some another brand that I steel roll dies. Anyways, I sometimes have to put a sheet of cardstock underneath there. But what I was talking about are these, and these are old Ellison.
Oh, I do have a few of those. Yeah.
Yeah, dies, and these are sometimes a bear, and I have to fiddle with them. But there's multiple companies that make these, and the deal is you just have to play with shims until you get it right. So having something specific, I don't think would be a big deal. Would be a great deal. See, these are not thin like the thinlets. They're almost a 16th of an inch thick. And I sometimes have trouble with them, and I have to use a different shim. I once had a very large and beautiful die cut collection. Let a friend borrow them. Walked in on my. Oh my goodness. Joni. Okay. Only miss her dies. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, but I've gotten all of these either at garage sales or thrift stores or things like that. But these work just fine. I just have to sometimes fiddle with them. So, and these are Sizzix, but they're just an older style. What is
Yeah,
this
I'm trying to
called?
remember what they call those. They have a
They
name
call them
too.
they call them sizzlets instead of
Sizzlets. Yeah.
thinlets. These are sizzlets. And this one I do not think has. This one doesn't give you the um, Pro and Vagabond. Yeah, these would work with your machine without any problem. You just sometimes have to piddle. And see, these are Ellison Educational Equipment Inc.
And those even worked with that big old red machine,
Oh yeah,
the
yeah,
first
they work
machine
with
that came out.
yeah, and I actually have some steel rule dies that somebody that had one of those red machines. I didn't buy the machine. I just bought the dies.
Yeah. Well, I bought the
So,
machine with some dies at a thrift store,
mm-hmm.
and then I decided, Big Shot's way worth it, and I kept the dies and took the machine back to the thrift store.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I don't see any reason to fuss with that machine because these machines are so easy to use. Okay,
They're
this
so
needs
much
some.
easier on your body.
Yeah, this needs some words.
Some words. It needs words.
Needs words. Yeah.
Okay, now we're gonna
Yes,
start
they
on.
did make something similar for embossing metal pieces. And I actually have some brass embossing dies too. I haven't tried running them through my machine lately because I bought them to use like stencils. I need words. Some kind of words. Let's see what we got. Well, let's look in my little word book because, I have a little word book now. That's not my word book.
Okay, some of these don't have too much, I don't know, something on them where they won't, I don't know if it's the pastel pencil or if it's my paper.
Okay, it might have a ring of like coffee or something on it. And did you see what Barbara said? Here, I'll show you. I hope you're planning on scanning that.
Oh, I hadn't even thought about that.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Jeannie. Um, I don't know what I did with my word book. I had it. Oh, it's right here. See, I got to get all that stuff ready to go.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why. Let's change areas. Let's work somewhere else and see if.
And see if
Let's change pencils.
Joni, that's a good way to think. Becky is so great with scanning and printing. Oh, yeah, I don't do that very much. I guess I don't know. Dreamed of a little dancing girl through the woods. Okay, okay. A little.
Okay, I don't know what's going on, but those are not. They're not going down onto the paper like this does.
Huh. Well, the pencils have a different. They are different, even though they're pastels.
Yeah,
They've got more. Okay.
they got something in them that
Yeah.
makes them pickier about the paper you're using, I guess. Anyway.
I think I need the word I. Okay. This is why these are so hard to work with in this box. I need to get them in my other little book because they are hard to work with this way. We've had rain today. It was very gentle this morning, but it rained through the night last night too. It really poured yesterday. Uh-huh.
Well, ours is mostly dried all up, what we got the other day, except for the puppy's lake.
The puppy's lake.
Yeah,
I take it he likes to play in the lake. Uh-huh. I can see that.
Well, we haven't been letting him play in the lake because it's mostly mud, but now it's
Hmm.
all mud. But he had dug a hole like he was trying to go to China, and and he had this big hole about 2 foot by 3 foot hole in the yard that was probably 6 or 8 inches deep, and that rain um, turned that into a little lake. We put some grading over it so he wouldn't
Wouldn't
he
play
wouldn't so
with
we
it.
could ruin his fun.
Uh-huh. Yep. That's exactly what you did. You ruined his fun.
I ruined his
I can
fun
see.
because I was not in the mood to be bathing a puppy every day just to get mud off of him. So,
Okay, let's see what
but
we.
he does love the water. So, Hannah said next year we need to get him a little swimming pool for the summer, and we might do that. We'll see.
You probably will find that he really has a good time in it.
Yeah, I think he will. I've seen some other cattle dogs playing in swimming pools and seem to love it. So,
Yeah. Okay, I got my words. It says, before the coming of winter, they spoke of many things, relaxed and at peace.
oh, that sounds nice.
And since I have leaves all over my page, I thought that sounded good.
Yeah,
So
it does.
now then, where am I going to put them? Right over top of this thing I don't like.
There you go.
Uh-huh. See, we fix this. When you got something you don't like, you fix it. Might not be all over the top of it, but you know.
I've been wanting to make a page of, river rocks or whatever for a long time, but I couldn't figure out how to make the rocks look, randomly placed. And when I saw this bubble paper, I was like, that's it. That's how to do it.
That's how to do it. I love my dehydrator. I actually ended up with two now because I had one, and then when we were on our trip last spring, and we broke the windshield and had to go to Red Bay. Um, we whenever you're in Red Bay, you have to wait a long time. It's one of those waiting game things. So while we were in Red Bay, we uh, we went thrift store shopping, and I found one that's almost twice the size of my other one for a really good deal. I got it for $8.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's an Excalibur with 9 trays. They're new. They're $350.
They didn't know
There
what
was
they had.
no, there was nothing wrong with it. I did have to, I did plug it in, make sure it ran. But even if it hadn't, or the motor had been bad, I could have ordered a motor for, the trays alone are worth $8.
Yeah, that's true.
So
More.
yeah, because they have the like the plastic webbing thing on them.
Uh huh.
So and I had to reorder one of those. It was $14 for my old one because I had lost one somehow. I think I'm going to put those over here on the side. Okay, I need an opinion.
Okay.
Okay, see where they're at?
Yeah.
Okay, there. Or
I
there.
think I like 'em where you had them first.
I do too, because they look like they're stuck in the middle right there.
Yeah.
Um, I've seen the round trade dehydrators at the thrift stores a lot of times, but I never got it because I already had one. But when they had this Excalibur, which is what I already have, um, and mine's, good Lord, mine's older than Brandon, so it's probably close to 40 years old.
Yeah. Well, my American Harvest is like 30 years old. I
Yeah,
found a newer, I can't remember the name, the brand. I want to say it's American Harvest, but it probably isn't. I can't remember. Well, it only had 4 trays, but it was brand new. It never even been used at the thrift store for $5. And so
yeah.
I went ahead and bought it because I keep thinking, mine's going to die. And since this one hadn't had beef jerky in it, Hannah decided to take the new one and do her herbs in it. So,
And yeah, uh-huh. Well, and that may have been what happened to one of my screens because I used to do a lot of beef jerky, and I may have you know scrubbed one, but I think it must have just got lost. But you can buy um you can buy new trays, you can buy Teflon sheets. Um, what I want to get right now, and they don't actually come from Excalibur, they have these new silicone mats with a raised edge on it.
yeah,
Because when I did the pumpkin last couple weeks ago,
right.
um, it I had to cook it way down before I could put it on my Teflon trays. Because there's no edge on my Teflon tray, and it would have been nice. And if you're doing tomatoes, it would just be nice if I didn't have to fuss with if I could just cut the tomato up and lay it on there. Where
Yeah,
with mine, because there's no edge, I have to put them in the middle, which is not a big deal, but dang, I like how
yeah.
this is coming out.
It looks very
Oh,
nice. I like it.
so, oh, I'm supposed to date these now, right? I'm supposed to date them 10/13. Somewhere I've got to date this. Put it right in here. 10-13
I just got a notice this morning that Google
2.
had closed my AdSense account.
Um, okay, have you looked at that? I looked at it this morning too. Um, they have done this thing with AdSense where it used to be Google Ads and YouTube were all combined together.
Yeah.
Well, now they've separated it out so
So,
that YouTube is one thing and the Google Ads are another thing, and they closed the Google Ads part of it. But
okay.
there was also a spot where I had to go in and tell it to do something. So you want to go to AdSense and look at it.
Well, when I went in and looked at it, they said, I just needed to, in order to open an account, you need to verify this or this. I was like, I already have an
Yeah,
account. You've even got my number there, and you're still saying this. Anyway,
right.
I didn't have time to mess with it. So,
Well, I went in and did that verification thing, and
okay.
the reason they've done it is because they've separated the two things out.
Okay.
So the Google Ads part and the YouTube part are now two different things.
Okay.
So you still need to go do that because
Yeah,
otherwise,
I
there'll
will.
be issues.
I just hadn't
But
had time. I hadn't had time to do any investigating. I was just
well,
like,
and
I just
see,
don't need
I
this on
I
top
don't
of
click on
everything else
those,
today.
right, because I don't click on anything that comes in an email.
Yeah.
So dang, that is so pretty, Lisa.
Thanks.
Yeah, I like the pop of color from the leaves. I like the way that and this doesn't bother me so much now that I've covered up just a little bit of it. So I'm really liking how this is coming out. It's going to be a fun a fun project to work on. Don't know if I'll get anything done while I'm gone, but I really like how this one came out. It's totally different than the other two. Um, I've only done 3, so it's this one
Yeah.
and this one, and then this one. So they're all very different. So
You know what I love about it?
what?
It's practical. It has a practical use. But if
Mhm.
you open it up and look at the pages, you're not going to think, "Oh, this is a sample book."
Yeah,
You're going to think
it
this is
doesn't.
an art journal.
Yeah, it's right.
And
It
I
does.
love
It's
that.
not like it's not just like a sample book. It's got some, I don't know, some yumminess to it. It's not just
It
stuck
does. Yeah.
down. Um, and Roxy's was like that too. I mean, what she's doing with hers, because this isn't my idea, guys. It's somebody else's idea. It's Roxy Creations. Isn't that the name of it?
Yeah.
Um,
I think so.
yeah.
I
Anyways,
haven't got to watch her channel yet, but I mean her video, but I've been wanting to
video.
because I love what you're doing. I would like to do that. I'm just having trouble finding time to do the things I'm already doing.
Right. Well, and that's another thing why that ledger book is not got any call to me at the moment. It's too big.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, it was given to you without any strings attached or expectations, just to do what you want to in it when
I
you're
know, but
inspired.
when I figure out what I'm going to do with it, I'll let you know.
All
But
righty.
that's the thing. It's just too big right now because everything I'm doing is little,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's the littler the better. I mean, this guy is so tiny, and I when I've been playing in this one, it has just been so much fun. Um, the the day I did, where is it at? This one? I mean, my gosh, the page is only what 2 by 2.5,
Yeah.
and it was the most fun page I ever did. So
It's adorable too.
yeah, I'm really liking it. I haven't done much in it, but I'm really liking it. Okay, but what I need to do is put these away so that I have them. Maybe make some more. Maybe make some more paper. Maybe I need to pull out some scrappies and just doodle on them because I did have an envelope to put that in, but where did it go? Oh, you know. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Joni. So, gosh, now I got stuff all over the floor again. Let's see. What do we got in here? There's a little piece. We can doodle on that and see what happens.
There you go.
You got to make the little pieces before you can do anything else. That's the thing. And that's why it's been a lot of fun to take that little notebook with me and doodle wherever. And I think the best thing I had done was put this piece of cardboard in here so that um, even if I turn it over like this, it's really hard. So
Yeah,
I've got,
that's smart. You always have a good surface to write on.
yeah. There's
Okay,
another
well, I
piece of
think
that.
I'm gonna leave it right here.
Oh, yes.
I
Wait to
think
see
if I do
now.
any more, it'll just be too much.
Yeah. Turn it sideways so we can see the whole thing. That's yummy.
So it looks better on screen than it does in person. I mean, it
But you,
looks good in person, but you can see where I outlined it. And
Okay,
on the
so
screen,
you can see this the actual pencil and mark.
yeah,
You can see the marks more. Yeah,
yeah. But I really like it.
I do too. I think it's gorgeous. I love how you got that lighter area and then the darker area off to the left and bottom.
Yeah,
As far as like the bottom of the riverbed, you know.
yeah. It and that just comes from choosing the right, the right bubble paper.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
See, this one would be completely different because the dark areas are, in a different
Yeah.
place. But this is basically what it went from this to
Yeah.
this.
That
So,
is so cool. So now you're gonna do the other one?
oh, not today. My back is hurting. I'm gonna stop
Do we
right
need to
here.
get do we need to get off?
Oh, not necessarily. I need to go check on the puppy. I think usually lately he's been good till about 4 o'clock.
Okay.
But um, if you need to get off, it'd be fine with me to get off. But if you're wanting to stay a little longer, I'll go check and see if I can.
Okay, well, why don't you go check and see if you can, and because I'm not gonna stay past about 4 because my back won't hold out.
Yeah, well, I
But
can't stay past 4 anyway because I
have
have
to
to
go
get a
get
ham
Hannah.
ready and get the puppy out and exercised and stuff before I go get Hannah. Well, not
Right.
exercised, but outside.
Outside, yes.
I'll be right back.
Okay, sounds like a plan. But I could see fall leaves laying on top of the water on that piece of paper she's made, you know. Um, if you weren't here earlier and you didn't hear, or you didn't hear, I am not streaming Sunday, I don't think. I'm not ready enough to go on our trip, and I need to get my act together um, before the first of the week. So Jeff's already loading his stuff in the camper, and I haven't even figured out what I'm taking. So um, I was making trail mix this morning, and then we had a one of our orange trees broke a branch. All this dry weather we've had, it broke a branch. So Jeff picked the oranges. They're not our oranges don't really come in until December. Really and truly, they're not as these weren't as sweet. But I juiced them all up so that they're at least usable. We won't lose. Yeah, until mid-November, Barbara. That's my plan. Jeannie, we're headed to for the first week near Montgomery, Alabama. We
Excuse me.
have there's a state park there we really like to stay in, and we have friends there, and we have stuff to do there, like go garnet hunting, and Jeff's gonna go metal detecting and things like that. And of course, we'll visit our friends. And then we're going to North Alabama on the west side of the state, which is where we actually have to go a lot of the times for camper repairs. But um, the Jeep Club from here is going to a paid Jeep thing up there. And so we're going to do that. And then we're going to head across northern Alabama and into Georgia. And after the Jeep thing, we don't know exactly where we're going because we kind of let it roll. That's kind of how we do it. We kind of let it roll. So,
This bubble thing makes really pretty envelopes too, y'all.
oh yeah, that is really pretty. So that's what we're going to do, Jeannie. Um, it's kind of like, whatever comes along, that's what we'll do. Uh, and we don't intend to be back until mid-November. I think I have an appointment on the 30th and Mom has an appointment on the 29th, or I have two appointments on the 29th. I can't remember, of November. So we have to be back by then. So we had intended to be gone. We intended to leave in August and be gone, well, till November, but that didn't happen. So we're just going to take a shorter trip.
Excuse me.
North Georgia is not, we've been to some places in North Georgia, but not a lot. So that's one of those things we're going to do. North Alabama, there's several state parks that we've been to up there in the past. I don't know if Jeff has checked yet whether or not we're too big. Some of the state parks we're too big for. So they just don't have sites that will take us. One of the reasons we're talking about a smaller rig. But I'm kind of disappointed because I really wanted to go dig in bottles again, and I'm not going to be able to.
Yeah, I would be disappointed too. I'm disappointed for you
Yeah,
because I was excited for you to get to go do that. And
yeah, but
stupid
there's
old
no.
shoulder.
Yeah, well, and see, it's down like an embankment, and I
Yeah,
could get down because I could slide down on my behind. Not a big deal, and I could stand there and I could dig bottles, but then I don't know that there's any possible way for me to get back up because with only one arm that works real well.
yeah. Well, and getting back up's important.
Yeah, yeah, I guess getting back out is kind of important. So
It's kind of important. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I got my ham out and then realized that the pan I was going to put it in is too small. So I
uh-oh,
went ahead and found something real quick so I would know what to
that you
use
had it.
when I was ready.
Mm.
And the puppy didn't make a sound while I was in there, so I just came back out.
Well, good. He's taking good naps then.
Yes, he is taking good naps.
Okay, I really like that one.
Oh yeah, that's pretty. That looks like that's a piece of fabric.
Yeah. Well, there was a jelly print, and then I just, used the marks that were kind of on the jelly print to make it. So,
Yeah.
and I love this piece of paper, but it needs something special on it. So I don't know what I'm
It
going to do
does.
on that.
Needs
I,
something.
I, I may have to just stay like that for right now, though, because I don't want to ruin it because I really like that piece of paper. Ooh, there's a purple piece of paper. How big is it? Ooh, it's big enough to play with. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Um, we've been discussing our spring trip. We are definitely not going back out west this year. Um, 2 years in the desert we decided that's
It's plenty.
all we could,
Plenty of desert.
that's all we could handle. That's plenty of desert, is plenty of rocks. So,
So
uh,
where are you gonna go?
well, we haven't decided, but we wanted to go up the East Coast this year,
Yeah.
and we didn't. We would still like to do the East Coast in the fall, but we're talking about um, North and South Carolina, maybe more in West Virginia. We've been to West Virginia before, but maybe do something more,
Yeah.
um, that and spend more time, and and then maybe going. I we don't know. We just haven't decided.
Well, there's lots of
Um,
places to go, so
yeah, it's not like we're going to run out of places in a hurry.
right.
So that's but we've done more along the southern east area than we have the northeast. Jeff's never been to Vermont and Maine. And frankly, if we went up there in the spring instead of the fall, it would be less crowded.
Right.
And so that's one of the reasons why we're talking about.
But going in the spring and the fall, it's kind of like going two different places.
Yeah, it is. But Michigan is awfully pretty in the fall.
Oh, I bet it is. I bet it is.
So the other thing is that I don't know. Um, there's this. Okay, what is it called? John Campbell. John Campbell School for Crafts, or I don't know. It's like, well, once a long time ago we went to Penland, and I'm sure, Lisa, you've heard of Penland.
No, I don't think I have actually.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe that. Penland was started during the Depression when the Appalachian women had no way to make money for their families, and Penland started a school for weavers.
Okay, now I do
Penland
know
Folk
about that.
School.
I didn't recognize the name.
Lisa got to teach there? Oh, dang, I am so dang jealous. What did you teach, Lisa?
That's awesome.
Not she got to teach at John Campbell, not at Penland. But
Oh, okay.
Penland is a
That's
little
still
more
cool.
yeah, Penland is a little more expensive, a little more uh crazy quilting. Yes, you should see Lisa's crazy quilting. Lisa does the most amazing crazy quilt stuff you've ever seen.
Well, maybe she needs to show us.
Yeah, she should put some pictures in the group, in Facebook group.
Yes.
Yes, she should. Okay, Lisa, that's your task, is to put some pictures in the group, please.
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 We'll ask
Um,
nicely if it helps
yeah.
instead of just demanding.
Anyways, Penland is really cool, and but the John Campbell Folk School has multiple, is bigger and has more types of classes, including like wild plants and things like that.
Oh, that sounds
Penland
interesting.
Penland actually has grown a lot, to not only encompass weaving but also other things. When we were there to visit, one of our instructors from college, from because Jeff and I both have degrees in photography, um, was there teaching. Um, but they're not as big. So I can share some photos of you. Okay, that sounds wonderful. Share, please, because she
Thank
does
you.
beautiful stuff. Um, anyways, we're talking about maybe not taking as long a trip, but going and doing some kind of class kind of thing, and then visiting that area
Yeah.
in the spring. So we're just kind of, and there's this other. Have you ever heard of Rhodes Scholar?
Uh huh.
Okay. Not the English Rhodes Scholar. university thing, but the seniors school program.
Okay, maybe not.
Okay, it's ROADS scholar.
Okay.
Okay. Anyways, different universities or schools in the summertime open up programs to seniors for very reasonable. They even have dorms you can sleep in and stuff like that because so many of their campuses are empty on this in the summertime.
Oh,
So
right.
you can take some really interesting classes for at those things. So Jeff's parents used to do some of those, and we haven't done anything like that. But we're, the classrooms were very. Oh yes, at blacksmithing, music classes, weaving, quilting. Yeah, um, that's what John Campbell has, and and they have tons of different classes. And the thing is, Lisa, we'll have the camper. So we won't be staying. Now they have a campground, but we're too big. So unless they have one site that might fit us, they have a 34-foot limit. So we're too big for that. But we can stay close. Since our house has wheels when we. Okay, now that's interesting. We're talking about doing that. We haven't totally decided what we're gonna do in the spring. We are just not going to go see any more rocks. Rhodes Scholar, thank you. Rhodes Scholar program used to be called something else. Lisa's probably more familiar with. Um, I don't know because it's been called that for a lot of years. Jeff's parents, like I said, used to do something like that. Anyways, we haven't really decided what we're gonna do. We're just piddling around with ideas right now. Okay, come on. I think she's sharpening a pencil. Is that what you're doing?
Trying.
We've actually been there, Lisa. We just didn't take any classes. The year he took me to Penland, we also went to John Campbell to check it out. Um, let's see here. What do I want to do?
Mm-mm. This pastels pencils plugged up my
Uh
pencil
oh.
sharpener.
Elder hostel. Oh yeah, her brain retrieved it before Google got the answer. Aha. Elder hostel. Okay. Yeah. And those are all over the country, so you can, um, kind of like choose different things to do with the Rhodes Scholar, the Elder Hostel things. Um,
I'll have to look into that. That sounds interesting.
but yeah, if you haven't read about Penland, you really want to because it has a very interesting history. Um, and back, when Jeff and I went there, was when I
Well, I've read about the Appalachian Weavers. I've read a book about that, but I just didn't recognize the name.
yeah, it was that's what it was started for, and it grew, of course.
I'm sorry. I am just
You're stuffed
maybe I'm
up.
getting a cold. I don't know. I'm just coughing way more than my normal.
I've been
My
an
nose is
elder a
stopping
lot
up.
longer than. Okay, she's been an elder a lot longer than us. Okay. Yeah, and all kinds of really interesting programs. So like with the elder hostel thing, my thing is going to be art and stuff, but they have they have interesting history programs and all kinds of things. So now, if we went to John Campbell, Jeffrey likes to carve and he hasn't done that in a long time. But like I said, they even had, when last time I looked it up, they had some very interesting, like mushroom hunting and just things that I could really get into.
Yeah.
So,
Trying to remember which park it was Hannah and I had the puppy at. That she said, Mom, I want to come back here on Saturday and do some sketching because they've got a bunch of interesting mushrooms growing over there. But it can't
mm,
be with the puppy because he wants to eat the mushrooms.
yeah. Well, and I was watching somebody that was using natural dyes, and one of the mushrooms that they were using was poisonous enough that they were um, covering their hands.
Yeah.
So, that, you know,
Well, I think her plan is to sketch them in situ.
yes, uh huh, yeah, yeah. I would think so.
But I would like to. We'll go do that. If we take the puppy, we'll give him a walk and then he can sit in the car with me while she draws. Or I can walk him on another part of the park while she draws.
Is it too cold to find a bench to sit on? And
Um, no, it's not. It it more depends on the comfort of the benches.
aha, okay, and
Some
that
of those
I get.
benches are really hard on my back. Some of them
Yeah.
are fine. It just
hmm
depends.
Okay.
It's so funny because when I sit on one of those benches, Sparrow has decided that he needs to sit up there with me, but he
Oh.
can't get up there really. So he just gets up where he's just kind of leaning on it. And he just sits there leaning on it.
Oh, too funny.
Like, okay, if we're resting, I'm going to rest. Like, you were perfectly happy to chase the bugs and until I sit down here, and then you want to get up here. But
Yeah, because mommy's resting. I have to rest too.
he's been sharpening his grasshopper and cricket catching skills.
Oh, how many's he eaten?
Oh, a few. One park we went at, they were all over the place, and he would chase one and torture it, and then he would eat it, and then he would just roll over on his back and forth, like he was celebrating. It
He's
was
having
like,
so much fun eating those. Uh
yeah,
huh. Yep. Uh huh. Uh huh.
it was hilarious.
I ruined it when I did that. I don't really like that, but that's okay. Oh, the tea fairy came to get me tea.
Hey, Tea Fairy.
Okay, Lisa just said, "Hey, tea fairy." He says hi. I think he has half a headache again.
Oh, that's not good.
No, he's been
Better
having
than
a
a whole
lot.
headache, but not by much.
No, not by much. He's been having a lot of them, which is, we're trying to figure out what's causing them, that he's having
Yeah.
so many.
Do you think
It's
maybe
just
his
like,
body's just gotten too used to that medicine?
well, that may be part of it. The heat may be part of it that we've had. And
Yeah.
then dehydration is part of it. I think there's a combination of things.
Right.
But they're saying a lot of people that had COVID are getting migraines. And I don't know if that might be part of it.
Yeah. That's one I hadn't heard.
Yeah. Okay, I'm liking it better now. Dogs are such funny
Yes, I
people.
do too.
Yeah, I'm going to put round ones in the top, but
Yes, they are funny people.
mhm.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he has decided that there's one kind of bowl he will drink out of. It has to be stainless steel,
Only
and
one kind.
that's okay. But I bought this big bowl that's unflippable that has rubber on it, and it's like it has
Uh-huh.
a cup here, and then it goes over the edge, and so there's not really a rim to grab a hold of.
Yeah.
And I put that outside so that he could have water outside. Well, then he got to where he would only drink outside, and I was like, "What is the deal?" And he just did not like that um, stainless steel bowl I had for him to drink out of in the house. So I got him one that was like it looks like ceramic, but it's really a heavy plastic. Well, he just barked at that. He did not like that at all. He's like, I knew this is not good. But they were out of those stainless steel ones, when I got that one that looks like it's ceramic. And anyway, I went back and got him another one of those stainless steel bowls to drink out of in the house. And then I was going to let him eat out of the ceramic bowl looking bowl, and so I could get, because I bought this thing where it lifts up the bowls, and there's two
Hmm.
stainless steel bowls, but they rattle and they make horrible noise. And if your head was in that and you were eating and it was rattling like that, I can see how that would be annoying. It's kind of annoying to listen to when you're not the one with their head in the bowl. So I got that ceramic thing thinking he could eat, out of that. No, he just barked at it and he flipped it over, and all the food, of course, went all over the floor. And he thought that was great fun. Anyway, so I just went back to another Walmart and got another one of those unflippable bowls, and so now he has food and drink out of the same kind of bowl, and he's happy.
Okay, guys, did you hear this? She is spoiling this dog. I was like, okay,
That's what Ethan
what is
says.
so
You're
much
spoiling
about
this
his
dog. I said, everything
spoiling?
I do for him, I'm doing for my own sanity because I don't want to deal with it. Oh.
Okay.
So I don't
Uh-huh.
know if I'm spoiling him or I'm spoiling me, but
That is just too funny. Okay.
it
Uh-huh.
is ridiculous. I agree. But anyway,
No, it's not. No, it's not. You're allowed to spoil him. We spoil our kids, so why not?
I think what Ethan was talking about mainly was that I never spoiled our other dog, Cubby, like that. I was like, well, Cubby was a good dog. He was easy. He didn't ask for much. He just wanted something exciting to chew every evening at 7:30. And other than that, he was just easy. He didn't, he didn't drive me nuts so that I had to spoil him.
Okay, well, you do know why I only have one child, right?
No, why?
Because I had my last one first.
Yeah,
My mother always said if she'd have had my sister first, she'd have never had any more children.
yeah.
Well, that is why I only have one.
Well, if I'd had Hannah first, I probably wouldn't have done it again, because of all her health issues. And I know that's the same thing with you. That was his I mean, that was what the problem was. It wasn't
I was going to say that
he
was a
was a bad
lot of the
child.
problem. Oh yeah, it was a huge part of the problem. But
Yeah,
and it was just like, but he's also willful and opinionated, and I still want to smack him upside the head about every 5 minutes when I'm with him. So
yeah. Well,
that
I
was
have
part
one
of
of
it
those
too.
too. But he didn't get that way till he was older, so I already had Hannah
Oh,
by then.
he came out of the womb that way. I am
Yeah.
not kidding. He came out that way. Uh, he was like that when he was little. I mean, I fully expected him to get himself beat up before he got to junior high school.
Well, I did a little bit on this envelope.
Uh, I think
It's
that's
not as
pretty.
obvious, but it kind of pulls
Yeah.
it out some. But I'm really happy with that.
Oh, that is just gorgeous. It is so
So
pretty. This is
I
this
am gonna
is
have to
gonna
get
be all
off
right.
though now.
Yeah,
It's
I got
four
to get off
o'clock.
too. Yeah. So, do for others because of self love and won't do a headache. That's true. Okay, guys, we're gonna go. Like I said, I will not be here on Sunday. I really just don't think I'm gonna make it. Yeah, I will. If I should decide to make it, I'll put a note in the Facebook groups. But I don't
Oh,
think so because I just know how much I got to do. Lisa
I
will be
wanted.
on at 6 o'clock on Monday,
That's my plan.
and that's her plan. And she should have her package from
So
Jeffrey
I
by
can
then.
show y'all. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was gonna
Um.
get. Oh, here it is. Um, Next Thursday,
Uh
I
huh.
want to play with
Okay, just
this
a
little
minute. Let
bitty
me put
jelly
the.
plate. I was gonna see if Barbara wanted to come on and jelly plate with me. I got me some little pieces of lace to use on my little bitty 3x5
Your
jelly
itty
plate that I was sent
itty.
anonymously in the mail from a kind, sweet person who didn't want me to know who it was. So I am very grateful, whoever it was. But um,
Okay, she just said she can come on whenever you want company. So there you
okay.
go.
Well, how about Thursday, Barbara? Next Thursday. I still don't know what I'm going to do Monday, but this is what I want to do on Thursday. So,
Of course she
yay.
wants to
Okay.
come on. Yay. Okay. Okay, guys. Well, I'm gonna go so Lisa can go too, and I will try to update you about where we're at. But you guys know that a lot of times we end up places where I have no internet. I mean, sometimes North Alabama we have no phone signal. That's sometimes where it's at. Red Bay, I can't hardly make a phone call from Red Bay. So, that's just the way it works. But I'll try to keep you all updated and I'll definitely let Lisa know where we're at.
That
So,
sounds good.
okay. Love you all. Bye, guys.
Bye bye. Love y'all. Have a great afternoon.